It will be a crash program for the National Assembly and the National Treasury next week, with only one day allowed between the debate on the Budget and Appropriations Committee's report and the tabling of the national budget set for Thursday. This follows the decision by the August House to defer debate on the report this afternoon, citing need for more time to internalise the content of that report. Julian's Amboko reports.
I will now interrupt the business of the House to allow the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury.
Next week on Thursday, the National Treasury Cabinet Secretary is expected to table the Budget and Appropriations Bill, popularly known as the National Budget, before the National Assembly, spelling out the expenditure and revenue-raising measures for the financial year between July 2020 and June 2021. Ideally, this should happen after the National Treasury has incorporated feedback from the National Assembly on some of the expenditure proposals already tabled. Members of Parliament who should have embarked on debating the report tabled by the Budget Committee opted to defer the debate to Tuesday next week.
This is a very, very important report. We need, it has been tabled now. We need to read it. We need to scrutinize. We need to look at the schedule and get the confidence that when we are coming to contribute, we know what we are talking about.
The Kenyan people are looking at this House to be able to pass a budget that stands scrutiny in terms of our oversight role, and for that reason, I support the majority leader, and if possible, we should even have more than one day to be able to interrogate this. Thank you.
Despite the deferment of the debate and the time constraints it presents to the budget-making cycle, the Budget and Appropriations Committee will still be within the timeframe provided for it to respond to issues raised on the floor of the House. Outgoing Chairperson Kimani Ichung'wah took the moment to give his vote of thanks on his last Budget and Appropriations report.
I am sure the 7 days are still within the timeline. I will still have an opportunity to move this budget, Honourable Speaker, which I appreciate that it is the last budget that I will be doing for the last 3 years.
The budget for the financial year 2020-2021 will be coming on the back of the passage of the Tax Laws Amendment Act of 2020, through which the government has extended relief measures in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, the result of which has created a 172 billion shillings revenue hole in the government's purse. Julian's Amboko, NTV.
Now, local businesses continued retrenching staff at a record pace in May due to constraints associated with the COVID-19 pandemic, as overall business conditions across the Kenyan private sector remained on a steady decline. The Stanbic Bank Purchasing Managers Index for May 2020 was at 36.7, higher than April's 34.8, but still well below the 50 mark that separates a general improvement in the investment climate from a deteriorating environment. Productivity declined at a steep pace as companies reduced activity and customers stayed away to lower the transmission of the virus, forcing companies to cut more jobs.